All right. Today I would like to talk a little bit about thought process. Thought process can be many different things. Where does something take you? Where does it take you? You can play something as simple as, a lot of times I'll play like one note. If I play this note and if I'm in G, that's the 5, D, or D11, or D11. And you just develop this thing of playing to yourself, playing different things, and just embellishing, turning them into triads, double stops, and different things. You just orchestrating different notes. Or for another example, if I'm playing like a funky type thing, I'm going like. Now my process, what I think about when I hear something like this, just as an example. It might be, a lot of times I'll think, like just a 9 chord in between those holes, or I'll think about a sharp 9 chord, And with a lot of funk stuff, I'll think about just 2 notes or maybe 3 notes, or emphasizing just 2 notes out of the chord. Maybe hold it longer. Just something like that, but you always find these little things to start something. And that's the same thing I do for songwriting too as well. I'll find just the catchy, something that just comes back to me over and over again, Then I'll just sit down and try and embellish on that. It seems really, everybody says this and everything, but it's really that simple a lot of times. You'll sometimes just coming up with something like, my song, Dupree, I came up with, just passing by the mirror with my guitar, and I just thought of something, what would Cornell Dupree kind of play, or what would be kind of funky, in that style, and I came up with, And then you need to have some kind of bridge or some kind of B section or whatever to kind of just change it up. And usually, a lot of those songs, if you got a piano player writing the song or something, a lot of times they'll go pretty. Something like that. I not only just think about this part, but I'm also thinking about what the drummer is going to play and what the bass player is going to play. And if you think about and dissect people like Gordon Edwards, stuff like that, a lot of times they would lay down the foundation. You know, sometimes I'm sure it would be just like, you know, but that can be so many different ways people can view that in a different way. You know, some people might hear that and totally play on top of the beat, you know. You know, kind of swing it a little bit, you know, and also the drums too, you know, is playing a certain thing to, you know, really get across that groove, you know, in a total different way. And a lot of times when it comes to grooves, funky grooves and making the song tick, usually a good place to start is playing half of what you would normally play, because we all as musicians have a tendency to play more than what is required for a part, you know. I mean, there is so many songs that are like, even like up-tempo, funky songs or whatever, but they breathe because there's space in there. And it's someone like Quincy Jones or somebody like that, or Jerry Hay arranging the horn parts that are just brilliant, you know, because they know about space and they know about, you know, jazz and classical music and older rhythm and blues and soul music. They know the makeup of this music, you know. To me, I always tell my dear friends, you know, I always say, you know, I just love it, you know, like people like Quincy Jones having a guy that maybe doesn't know how to read music, or, but he has a sound, he has a feel, you know, like Louis Johnson mixing that with, you know, brilliant drummers, you know, and stuff like that, you know, who know every front side, back side of the beat and everything. And you come up with this unique sound, you know. I mean, that's just amazing and always very interesting. You know, you're adding all of these different parts together, you're orchestrating these different musicians together, and you make timeless music doing that. You know, you pick the best musician for this part and you put it with this other great musician and you make music, you know. That's the thing that just moves me so much. You know, so sometimes, basically what I'm getting at is sometimes you have to play less and you have to think about what's going to make the song feel good, what's going to make the lyrics feel good, what's going to make it flow, you know. And I think these are really important lessons that we all can learn from, myself totally included. And it took me a lifetime almost to figure this out for myself. All right, I hope everybody's having a good day as well as we can have. And I'm staying tough. All right.